In today's video, we're diving into the complex and evolving war situation in Russia and its profound impact on Moscow. As the conflict continues to unfold, it's crucial to understand not just the military strategies at play, but also how this turmoil is reshaping the very fabric of one of the world's most iconic cities. The ongoing war has led to significant changes in daily life, economic conditions, and even the cultural landscape of Moscow. We'll explore how residents are adapting to the challenges posed by the conflict, from shifts in public sentiment to alterations in local businesses. This isn't just a story about geopolitics, it's about the human experience in a city that has stood resilient through countless trials. So, whether you're a history buff, a current events enthusiast, or simply curious about how war affects urban life, stick around as we uncover the transformation of Moscow amidst these turbulent times. To fully grasp the current war situation in Russia, it's essential to look back at the historical events that have shaped this conflict. The roots of the escalation can be traced to a series of key moments, including the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991, which left a power vacuum and sparked regional tensions. The annexation of Crimea in 2014 marked a significant turning point, leading to international sanctions and a deterioration of relations between Russia and the West. Political decisions made by leaders on both sides have further fueled the conflict, with NATO's eastward expansion and Russia's assertive foreign policy playing pivotal roles. Historically, Moscow has been a focal point during wars, often serving as a battleground for power struggles. From the Napoleonic Wars to World War II, the city has endured significant hardships, shaping its resilience and identity. Understanding this historical context is crucial as we analyze how these past events continue to influence the present situation in Russia. As the war continues, Moscow is experiencing visible changes that reflect the ongoing conflict. Streets that once buzzed with tourists are now quieter, with many businesses adapting to a new reality. Billboards and advertisements have shifted to promote national pride and support for the military, while some shops have closed or reduced their hours due to economic pressures. For residents, daily life has become increasingly challenging. Many are grappling with rising prices and shortages of certain goods, leading to a palpable sense of uncertainty. Public sentiment is mixed, with some expressing support for the government's actions, while others voice concerns about the implications of prolonged conflict. Significant events, such as protests and public gatherings, have also emerged, showcasing the diverse opinions within the city. Additionally, Moscow has hosted various rallies in support of the military, drawing large crowds and highlighting the complex emotions surrounding the war. This dynamic environment illustrates how the conflict is reshaping life in the heart of Russia. The ongoing war has led to a significant humanitarian crisis affecting Moscow's population. As conflict escalates, many individuals and families have been displaced, seeking refuge within the city or fleeing to other regions. This influx of displaced persons has strained local resources and services, creating a pressing need for support and assistance. Civilians in Moscow face numerous challenges in accessing basic needs such as food, healthcare, and shelter. Rising prices and supply shortages have made it increasingly difficult for families to afford essential items, leading to heightened anxiety and insecurity. The psychological toll of living in a conflict zone further exacerbates these challenges, as many struggle with fear and uncertainty about the future. In response, local and international organizations have mobilized to provide aid, offering food, medical assistance, and shelter to those in need. However, the scale of the crisis often outpaces the available resources, highlighting the urgent need for continued support and intervention to address the humanitarian implications of the war. In response to the ongoing war, the Russian government has implemented a series of military strategies aimed at consolidating control and asserting its position both domestically and internationally. Public announcements from officials often emphasize national security and the need to protect Russian interests, framing the conflict as a necessary measure against perceived threats. This narrative is reinforced through state-controlled media, which plays a crucial role in shaping public perception and rallying support for the government's actions. Government propaganda has been particularly effective in fostering a sense of patriotism, with campaigns designed to highlight military successes and downplay the war's negative consequences. This has led to a polarized public opinion where dissenting voices are often marginalized or silenced. Additionally, there have been notable changes in governance and law enforcement within Moscow. Increased surveillance and stricter regulations have been implemented to maintain order and suppress protests, reflecting the government's commitment to controlling the narrative and ensuring stability amidst the turmoil. These actions underscore the complex interplay between governance and public sentiment in times of conflict. The international community has responded to the war in Russia with a range of actions, primarily centered around imposing sanctions aimed at crippling the Russian economy and limiting its military capabilities. Countries such as the United States, members of the European Union, and several allies have enacted comprehensive sanctions targeting key sectors, including finance, energy, and defense. These measures have led to significant economic repercussions for Russia, contributing to inflation and a decline in foreign investment. Support for or against Russia's actions varies widely across the globe. While Western nations largely condemn the conflict and advocate for Ukraine, some countries maintain a neutral stance or even express support for Russia, citing geopolitical interests or historical ties. Global organizations, including the United Nations, have attempted to address the conflict through diplomatic channels and humanitarian aid initiatives. However, the effectiveness of these efforts has been hampered by political divisions among member states. Overall, the international response reflects a complex landscape of alliances and tensions in the face of ongoing conflict. The feelings and opinions of Moscow's residents regarding the war are deeply divided, reflecting a complex tapestry of perspectives shaped by personal experiences and demographic factors. Recent surveys and interviews reveal a range of sentiments, with some residents expressing strong support for the government's actions, viewing them as necessary for national security. Conversely, a significant portion of the population voices concern over the war's impact on daily life and the economy, fearing the long-term consequences of ongoing conflict. Demographic differences play a crucial role in shaping these opinions. Younger generations tend to be more critical of the war, often advocating for peace and expressing frustration with government narratives. In contrast, older residents may hold more traditional views, influenced by historical context and state media. In response to the war, various protests and movements have emerged, with activists calling for an end to hostilities and greater transparency from the government. These demonstrations, although often met with resistance, highlight the growing discontent among segments of the population and the desire for change amidst the turmoil. In this video, we've explored the multifaceted impact of the ongoing war on Moscow, highlighting how the conflict has reshaped daily life, public sentiment, and the city's historical context. We've discussed the visible changes in the urban landscape, the humanitarian crisis affecting residents, and the government's response to the situation. It's clear that the war has profound implications not only for Moscow, but also for the broader international community. As we reflect on these issues, it's essential to consider the humanitarian aspects of the conflict, recognizing the struggles faced by displaced individuals and the challenges in accessing basic needs. Understanding these realities can foster empathy and awareness in our global community. If you found this discussion insightful, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with others who may be interested in learning more about the situation in Moscow. Your engagement helps us continue to provide valuable content on important topics like this one. Thank you for watching.